What's going on, everybody? My name is Bo, and I am a home theater enthusiast. And today's video, I'm gonna take a trip down memory lane, but for you guys, I'll be just showing you kind of the evolution of my dedicated theater room from 2005 until today, January 20th, 2022, and just show you kind of the five or so major um, iterations, if you will. Some changes were bigger than others, but humble beginnings to where I'm at today, which is I'm very happy with my room. I did upload uh, a walk, basically a walk around. Talked about a few things about a week and a half ago. Gotten quite a few views and a lot of comments, so I thought I'd be fun to show you guys where it all started. But before I get into that, I do want to just briefly mention some of my history. So the first time I got a surround sound receiver was Christmas of 1994, and a couple big MTX box speakers to go with it. I wasn't buying it for the surround. I just wanted a stereo, because I had a cassette player and I wanted to crank up some music. So in '95, I actually bought a center channel speaker. It was clips, and hooked up a VHS to it. Watched Twister, and I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool." Um, Let me buy two more speakers. So I bought some little bookshelf MTX. I think they had a 6-inch woofer, and yeah, my first surround sound in 1995, watching VHS tapes on a 19-inch Magnavox TV, and I was hooked ever since. So, I did a lot of back then. I did a lot of learning the hard way, and did a lot of stuff in my bedroom. But eventually, in 2005, at my parents' house, I ended up getting cleaning up an extra room in the basement and did a dedicated theater room. So I'm gonna switch to this so you guys can see my desktop. By the way, this was I'm not really in my theater room here. I'm in a green screen, so if I fooled you, cool. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I don't have a good camera and lighting and a good mic for there, so I figured I'd sit at my computer and do it this way. So anyway, 2005, I had a surround sound setup. I think it was 7 channel, and I just had a 47-inch TV. Well, my brother, his friend came over, saw my little setup. He's like, you know what? I'm building a theater room in my basement. I've already started. Maybe you want to come help me. So he was about 7, 8 years older than me. So I went over there. I'm just going to show you the end result. So this was my first attempt at a dedicated theater room. I did 50% of the manual labor. I did all the audio and video setup, speaker placements, and stuff. We built a false wall here. This screen, the photographer, and he did a Photoshop job. This was only a 57-inch screen. It looked tiny on this wall, but this room sounded incredible. Everything that's on the sides here is 2-inch Owens Corning wrapped in like a fake suede. So the front third of the room and then the bottom third all the way around. And then it had like this curtain material was actually behind it was like 2-inch pink foam board. And this was acoustically transparent fabric. We made panels that were Velcro on and built a stage, and it was incredible. Other than the small screen size, this room sounded amazing. So that was my first like real attempt, and I gotta tell you, this room, I think he had about 8,000 in equipment because the TV was like 3,000 for a 57-inch rear projection. He bought the flagship Yamaha in whatever 2005 flagship was, the Polk RTI 10s, which I have now. So yeah, that was a good start. So I wanted to replicate that. So a month after we finished this in April 2005, I bought the Sony HS51 projector, and look at look at this room. Talk about a step down from my buddies. But this is a 77-inch, so it was way bigger than his, 20 inches bigger. These are Polk RT800s, whatever the center channel was for that series. I'm just going to show like each iteration of my room, multiple angles, and kind of talk about it. So here's the Sony 720p projector. Had component video, S video. I had cinder blocks on both sides with just movie posters, and I just painted I was trying to replicate, what we did at that other room. Carpet was just no padding, just sitting on cement. There's a look at the projector, and my side surrounds was dipole speaker from Polk, and rear were bulk shelves, and I had them like right next to each other, completely wrong. But it was only 6 channel audio back then, so that was my first dedicated room, 2005. I mean, wow, what a start, huh? Um, so let's go to 2006. I bought my first house, and I finished the basement in on one half, and I made a as big a room as I could within the constraints of the house. And so this is my next iteration. It was only just under a year later. All the same equipment, so 77-inch screen, same projector. The carpet was already there. I just put drywall up, painted it, put this trim. Same couch. Biggest one of the big mistakes, I put the rear surrounds way too high. The top of it should have been where the bottom is. I still have to deal with this today. I do angle them down now, but I have the exact same speakers as I had from 2005. Bought them in 2003, so 19 years I've had the same rear surrounds. And then here's a shot of the right side. So one of the things I recently fixed, if you watched my last video, was getting rid of this white trim, which made a huge difference to the look of the room. So 2008, nothing major, but I got those speakers from my buddy's room because he made some bad choices and lost his house. And we did a straight up swap, and he sold my speakers for $700, so we both did okay. But I had a nice improvement. So that was it. So 2016, so 8 years later, the next big change was, and it's hard to tell, but this is a 82-inch screen. I went with 82. A new speaker stand, and I actually put some acoustics on the first reflection point. I should have went to 92, but that was a mistake I made, and I fixed it later. But the main reason was I went to a Sony HW40ES. This was their entry-level 1080p projector in 2016, and it was a huge difference, obviously. 11 years after I bought my first projector, I bought my second one. And I still have this one, by the way. That's going to be a theme. I don't upgrade very often. There's the side surrounds. And, yeah, otherwise, very bare wall. I mean, look how far out front these side surrounds were. Not only did I have a 77-inch, well, at the time I had a 77. The couch didn't move. The couch now is in line with where these speakers are. Well, they're not there, but the ones that are replacing it. I moved the couch up about 2.5 feet, and I went from a 77 to a 92. So it's just crazy for me to look at this and see that I had my side surrounds out way in front of the couch. It just blows my mind that I did that back then. I know why I did, because I wanted it to be easier to walk in the room and not have to squeeze between the couch. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, it doesn't look as bad here, and it's possible by the time I took this photo I might have already moved the couch up. So yeah, so this was iteration number 3. The room itself was the same, but the equipment had changed enough that I thought it was noteworthy. So let's fast forward 4 years to 2020. So first off, nothing changed except I added acoustics. So there's a 16-inch by 48 panel on either side of the screen. This is a 32 by 48, basically big bass trap, and then at the first reflection point I put the nicest ones I made. I also put this under the side surround. So I also put bass traps in the back, but because of this white trim I had to put them up too high. Rectified that later on in life. So yeah, I just did this same width as the side surrounds just to kind of give it a different look. I doubt it did anything, but nice looking. I was very happy. After I did the acoustics, I was so happy with the results that it actually got me like I was kind of dead with the hobby because I had this screen actually got wrecked. You can't tell it from here, but up close there was drips. Water got trapped behind it. It got wrecked, and but once I fixed this audio, I just kept going. So there. Can you tell what changed? Go ahead and pause this video. Go down in the comments and tell me what 3 major changes happened from this photo to this photo. So pause, come back. For those that don't want to play, I'll just tell you, new sofa, new carpet, and I went to a 92-inch screen, and this was a silver ticket, cheap Amazon one with a 1.1 gain, but you can see how much better it reflects light. That daylight, I thought my projector bulb was dying. I got this, and it really brought my projector back to life. So, so we'll look at some other angles. You know, the carpet. It's in person compared to the old stuff. I mean, it was night and day. I should have put in I have one photo of looking at both the seam where the carpet meets, and you'll see how big of a difference. So, and new sofa, power reclining, looks a lot like the older Tuscany or Valencia, I should say, but it's actually Bob's Discount Furniture. And then later I also added some diffusion foam on my curtain door. So there's with the RGBs, which I don't really use the RGBs. I don't know why I spent that money, but it looks cool in this photo. Put a few more panels, and yeah, so this was pretty much 2021. I did upgrade my receiver and subwoofer, but you know, this isn't really about the equipment. This is more about the room itself. I'm going to do many videos if anybody really wants to know. Maybe I'll put it in the description. So 2021 comes around, and I finally got sick of looking at the blank walls, so I made some more acoustic panels. A lot of people will say I overdid it and the room's going to be dead, but far from it. The issue I ran into, though, is I didn't want these this high, and I had this white trim. So I liked how it looked. I liked the black, white, gray. This gray didn't really match with the fabric, though. So in 2022, well, the end of 2021 into 2022, here we go. Here's the biggest change to the actual room. It was the first time since 2006 that I actually touched the walls and painted them and changed it up. So I go a long time. I went 11 years on the projector. I went 10 years on my receiver. I still have the same fronts as since 2008, the same rear since 2003. So, but anyway, I masked my screen so can have Cinescope. Looks better with Cinescope. Built these columns, diffusion. Watch if you've seen that video. I'm guessing you have. If you're watching this, I show the room. I like this shot, so I lowered these. I could lower these. New side surround placement. Like I said, I angled these rear surrounds down. But what was I gonna go back? There's a reason. Oh, I was gonna show where's the sides. Can't really. I thought I had a different. There we go. See how I could lower these and just do what I wanted to do. Have this increasing height, almost to give it a stadium theater kind of look to it. But yeah, so this is the room now, and I just painted this door was black, so this is the most up-to-date photo. So let's recap. So let's go one right to the other and see. So 2005, what a beauty. 2006, definitely an improvement. The room, surround the room around the equipment. 2016, got a better camera, which also helped. Same room, better lighting, better camera, but definitely improvement. 2020, it's harder to tell just by looking at those, but it was still an improvement. And then 2022. And then this was the thumbnail I used for the last video. So yeah, that is that's where we're at. Let's just let's go through that one last time, just because I still, it was such a blast from the past when I found this photo. I didn't know I had it, and it's just crazy to think that this was 16 and a half years ago. So yeah, the basically the point is, you don't have to start. You could start with this, be very happy with it, and get you like 5, 6, 7, 10 years. And then you get this, and then 5 years later, make some small tweaks, still looks similar, but then a couple more years, I end up with this. Now my end goal in this room at this house is to go acoustically transparent. I hate to get rid of these towers because I love them, but then have speakers behind the screen, have a perfectly clean front wall with a little stage, and a nice JVC projector or something along those lines. That's kind of my end game for this room. But I'm not super thrilled about going to in walls versus these nice tower speakers. But yeah, so that's my journey. And like Youth Man, shout out to Michael. He always says, the journey is real. It's not just about the end result. The journey, all part of the fun and joy. I try not to get too caught up in the upgrades and stuff, but yeah, let me know what you think. Where are you at in your home theater journey? Have you started? Are you just starting out, or are you at the end game? Leave me a comment. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next video.